I think I did a good job. The best thing is to do this at the beginning. It's a small thing that make a lot of difference. And so what I'm going to do is I will demonstrate you on a paper basically what exactly took place. Then, based on watching the video, it's the rest of the stuff that I break down about what took place. So this I'm doing on a laptop. Doing this stuff on a laptop because I just don't have a capacity to play with these things, and so I have to do it this way. A laptop is not exactly the best one, and so that's how this stuff was. This here sits. I sit right here. That's an X. That's me. I will sit right here. Then there is like this, a round table here with people around this round table, and then you have, I don't know, another table, and then you have another table, whatever that is, and here eventually you have a bar. So it was full of people anyways. People were everywhere. My mother left with the father. To go inside of the building, you do have to go in this direction here. Let me make sure that you see this stuff properly. Yes, you do. This is where you go inside of the building, through the lobby area. This is a lobby area, all this stuff. This is a bar area, the whole thing. And this is a lobby area. So this is let's just write down here. Lobby area, you already have here, it's bar. Tables, there is some kind of Christmas tree somewhere here like this. They have very holiday now. Then you have the reception area right here. You're gonna put the R. And past the reception area, you have a sliding door, entrance door. Let me see to make sure that you see that. Yeah, you do. It's entrance and exit. So entrance, yeah, and damn, exit, both. So I'm sitting right here. This is where I sit. My mother takes father upstairs on his floor. Nurse, after a while, Nurse JANKO comes. And he comes right here like this. This table is more this way. This is very close to me, basically. I see him talking to these people. Keeps talking and keeps talking and keeps talking. He is talking to these people when at least 5 minutes went on for at least 5 minutes. It's for what Nurse JANKO referred to as something that must be done. He talked about the 3 minutes rule, something like that. That's why the video recording is also extremely important. And did so based on MK Ultra brainwash so that I could recall all the stuff, and all the stuff is what you're gonna see next. I will discuss about in the video. And so then my mother was coming back from this direction, from the opposite direction. As I indicated, she took the father inside of the building. So we're gonna take this away. Mother comes this way. I am sitting here. And at the same moment as mother was going through here, Nurse JANKO and myself basically meet somewhere in this area here, somewhere like this. With my attempting at least to go to this side here and go with the father, with the mother basically together like this out of the building. This was the plan. But the plan fell short because Nurse JANKO flexed away from the resident he was talking to and instead came right here in my face. Basically changing the course of what was meant as an exit out of the building. Now at the same time, I didn't want to shy away from him because of the reasons you're about to learn in this video, in the continuation of the video. He tried to intimidate based on MKUltra scenario. Bully, harassed based on MKUltra scenario. And at the same time, I wanted to demonstrate mother that I am not willing to shy away from his presence, which he wanted to make in front of my mother, when coming in my face and saying to me, "Hello, how are you?" Very nice. So let's turn this paper around. I am sitting here. My mother comes from this direction here, like this. Nurse JANKO is a people sitting around the table, talking to the resident right here. And when my mother comes here, Nurse JANKO goes this way. And of course, I'm coming this way. You will understand in the video why that exactly happened. I explain, I break down everything about why that was. And so instead of going with the mom this way, the situation developed with Nurse JANKO getting in my face, asking me how I'm doing, how are you? Like he was really, really happy to see me in a very, very friendly way. And you're gonna see me in the video indicating like just go. I didn't move any hands. You're gonna see me in the video like giving like just go. No, that's not the way it was. At the beginning, the way it was, this stuff, I was surprised in a way that he was so sweet, so nice, that he came to me in such a friendly manner. And what I did was I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. When he came on my face, I just did like this, and I just say, go, basically your way, go. He would keep standing over there staring at me and keep asking me, how am I doing, how is everything, and so on. And so, as is evident from continuation, I didn't want to have nothing to do with him, and I want to make myself clear with giving him stronger and stronger negative, unwilling to engage in any kind of discussion. I'm not going to say answers, but basically just giving him signs that just go, go. Pate. That's all there was. With mother taking a great interest, because it's very, very important. Just yesterday she claimed that she was the first one who came out of the building. It's not true at all. With me like this, Nurse JANKO right here, and mom who was watching it all from like this, between him and myself. Very important stuff. For some time, because it did not stop this stuff. It didn't end immediately. I just came to the mom as mom was going out, and I wasn't going to back down. For me, it was extremely important for JANKO to understand that I'm there to stay. Simple as this. Because he acted very, very nicely, extremely politely. he was there to intimidate, and he was there based on MK Ultra scenario to prove his own vision, his own view. Maybe the best proof about what took place with the Janko 2 days ago on December the 6th, 2025 is that he just repeated being nice after I completely declined to have anything to do with him, which is crazy. It's nice, and then it's too fucking nice because you bully, you harass somebody, and you try to obtain a physical response for the person, and that's exactly what Nurse JANKO was doing on December the 6th, 2025. We have to make clear about what Nurse JANKO was doing there 2 days ago, what exactly he was doing right there. Now, mother did move on, she did go past, and yeah, I came out, and my mom was completely, at least that's what it looked like, she was surprised. It appeared clearly to me that the attitude I'm about to talk to you in continuation of the video, and you can also see the timing, right? Here in the, blessed enough to have a clock right there in your right corner. Based on the timing, you're gonna see its original account, as I explain exactly what took place. Mother was surprised, acted like surprised that I've not bent down in front of Nurse JANKO. Some it does relate to this video, some it doesn't, but the two police officers included who responded the crime here in the Krka village at Luka Bavšek, that's a Krka 64, that was Filip Milutinovic and his female partner, included with the funny man Andrej Štefanič, another funny man Igor Juršič, now gone director, and Zajšek, and investigators from Novo Mesto police station. Made it, but that was really, really toxic when it comes to the female, that partner of the Filip Milutinovic, police officer who responded at Krka 64. Made this whole fucking thing even more toxic. The time-wise, because it's everything gets timed, these people insisted to me during MK Ultra that there is a law that divides us. And pushing the boundaries of this law will eventually get me into the jail. This is especially toxic if you continue to stalk, if you continue to prosecute, if you continue to lie, if you continue to intimidate, if you continue to terrorize a persecuted individual, and you explain him based on a prior torture, MK Ultra torture, as it was in my case, that he can only come up to here, but not to the other side where the law is. And they demanded from me to acknowledge them as a police officers, as a law, as legitimate, as legal. This is also the stuff that criminals that I just mentioned from Novo Mesto police station will have to testify, explain especially about this issue. Stojan, Pevec, Rezelj, all the garbage that met me in 2024, which was directly implicated in this, either participated in this kind of logic, toxic shit, sick shit. clearly they do not represent the law. They clearly go across, basically, on this side where I am located at, to violate my rights and demand in return a complete compliance with the violence, which they went on to further interpret basically as reducing the space. It's especially effective when you do not want to recognize the MK Ultra procedure as real. It is regarded basically as something that is mystic, that is a lie. Andrej Štefanič, the funny man from the Novo mesto police station, equaled one with Miran Sodin, with basically, I don't know, my communicating with the police officers that enter and exit the police building. I don't know how you say that, but it's telepathically, like telepathy. He ridiculed, humiliated during the meeting with him at Novo mesto police station. Even on his report, wrote down that I communicated with the police officers who are involved with the garbage from Novo mesto police station who enforced this type of genocide procedure telepathically. So he equaled MK Ultra with the telepathy. This is like the people whom I encountered at this Novo mesto police station. It's like you would assemble clowns all together, united, and then you would go and you would do this stuff. And the Clowns United got this done through Home for Elderly People, which was involved directly into torture, in my case for over 45 years. Well over 45 years. So these are the things that are very, very important. You're going to hear me saying, like, go, just go. I exaggerated that. I was nice to him. I was surprised when he took such a pleasant, nice, warm, smiling, assertive way. And I'm not going to say that I politely declined, but I just did like this to him. This is going to be visible on the camera. And I just, you know, given a sign, just go, basically. I don't have nothing to do with you, in other words. The reasons why I explain in continuation of the video. So it is important for you to understand exactly what happened, and you can always come at the beginning of the video to see exactly how this thing developed. And it all developed based on MK Ultra scenario, brainwash, and a lot of violence. Okay. Alrighty, dingy dongy, bing bang, boom bang bonk. Slovenian police, the Illuminatis, because the Slovenian police, whatever they have done, they have everything black and white on a paper, sealed with the signatures through the Western, in parentheses, democracies. American garbage such as Bill Clinton, George Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump. All the garbage, including Carter, now gone already. Presidential garbage. And the politicians involved in this, they all ratified Slovenian police crime against me during their meetings right here in the city of the Novo mesto, with their Russian, Chinese, Indian, and other counterparts. So, we have another incident Slovenian police enforced against me. The incident took place based on MK Ultra scenario. The incident took place on December the 6th, 2025. That's 2 days ago, roughly now, this morning hours of December the 8th. Interesting, Bill Clinton apologized for using MK Ultra mind control, and etc., etc., etc.
the thing about all this stuff is, and this is why I started with this, you have to understand, I'm not interested in mediating this procedure with you. I will not mediate with you. I will insist on getting you and your families killed through the court proceedings, through the prison system, destroy you, get you killed, take every cent away from you that you earned throughout the life. I'm not interested in any kind of mediations. I'm not interested in any kind of talk with you. I scum, cannot even see you. You make me puke. Just my seeing you on the internet, God forbid meeting you in life, in real life, makes me sick. Right there, as you see, Bill Clinton, who supposedly apologized for using MKUltra mind control, is the invention of Bill Clinton is circles, which went on to suggest just the way you see it. This is what America is good for, you know. America, that equals to schizophrenia, sickness, mental illness, the world of lies, violence, organized crime. Just the way you see it, right there. Psychiatry. America is a psychiatry. That is a psychiatry. And it's violent, and it's extremely unethical, it's extremely murderous, and the biggest problem that America has is it declined the hand, the helping hand I offered to United States of America. You know, scum, do you remember what I told you? Talk to me about it. Come out. Stop this stuff. Foremost, just stop it. You don't have to do anything else. And you decided to do differently together with your Slovenian partners, with your Eastern European Slovenes. You decided you're going to do it different. You're going to prove me wrong. Well, let's see who here is wrong. And let's see who's going to go down how. Bill Clinton apologized for using MKUltra control is a video for which Bill Clinton alone, when visiting here inside of the Novo mesto, inside of this house, told me that he actually never ever apologized for any kind of MKUltra and so on. And this is just obviously, in a parenthesis, independent people who came up on the internet and advertised Bill Clinton apologizing for, in a parenthesis, MKUltra procedure. The thing is such that you cannot apologize for something that does not exist. And that is exactly what Slovenian murderers, killers, I should say serial killers, assassins, demonstrated during my meetings at the Novo mesto police station. The last time on November 30, 2024, when Milan Kučan is, I should say, Robert Golob is a personal deputy, Miran Sodin ordered psychiatric hospitalization during our meeting just for my submitting a complaint to him. He came from Ljubljana to literally hospitalize me based on what preceded this crime. At least 25 year long intimidation, torture at police station alone, in which of course they embedded also psychiatrists from Ljubljana, Polje, Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana, Polje, psychiatrists here from Novo mesto, and everybody in MKUltra. The terror, the thrill, the death threat is basically what they thrive on. This is more than about MKUltra. The MKUltra is just a procedure, basically. This is just a brainwash procedure done under the influence of drugs, basically using drugs to enter a human subconscious. But the stuff that went on under Bill Clinton, under George Bush, under Barack Obama, under Donald Trump, under Ronald Reagan, under Richard Nixon, under Jimmy Carter, and so on and so forth. was genocidal. I am not going to talk about any ethics. The purpose of it was obviously, as you can see, extermination procedure. They did everything they possibly could to get me killed. So, Bill Clinton apparently, according to Americans, and I don't understand why you're even allowed to advertise something that is not true. Something that I demonstrated you during visits, repeated visits to Novo Mesto police station. I have no idea, at least what, 10 police officers, at least every police officer at Novo Mesto police station, and we're talking about animals, not the police officers, insisted, murderers, serial killers, I'm not the only person they have done this to, insisted that what is MK Ultra? What is MK Ultra? They all demanded from me an explanation for the definition of MK Ultra, what MK Ultra is, and claimed they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about it. They're not familiarized with it. You see, so the nature is such that we don't like each other. And the nature is such that the two of us, it's you and it's me. And with every time you do the stuff like it took place 2 days ago, it's just going to get worse for you, not for me. The nature is such that two of us do not get along with one another. Because you are a bad guy. You don't want to finish this. You don't want to stop. You are still motivated in getting me killed. You are motivated, nevertheless, to negotiate, to haggle, to mediate with somebody you have no right to even look in his eyes. And you do this through the violent incidents, through the Slovenian prison system, incarceration, and more than anything, psychiatric hospitalizations. I'm going to play you this video at the end, but right now we're going to go to the incident which was orchestrated by the Novo Mesto police. The funny man, Štefanič, Andrej Štefanič, and another funny man, Igor Juršič, and another funny man, entire group of the garbage that met me at Novo Mesto police station. Zajšek, investigator who met me at Brusnice, I think Velike Brusnice, or whatever they call this, in 2022, I think it was, also was advising me that based on interrogation which Nurse JANKO have done, in the case I'm going to talk to you about, was repeated for no less than 10 years. And the way they were doing this stuff is literally through interrogations, literally through bullying, harassment, torture, beatings, literally through obtaining a feedback, basically creating a progress of what they refer to as schizophrenia through the torture. Claimed me at Novo Mesto police station once they prepared everything, once everything was finished, that I would be at fault, I would be wrong, this is not the way the law functions, this is not the way it is, and etc., etc. So what I will do now, the day when this took place was December the 6th, 2025. What I will do right now, I will demonstrate you exactly what took place. Sorry, this is just something to explain that none of this stuff would have been possible without my mother. Actually, excuse me, without my father is self-hospitalization. You don't understand that because of this incident that Nurse JANKO created 2 days ago, I will go after the father all the way to the end. You do understand that. You basically killed father for doing this. You basically killed mother and you killed father because of what you have done 2 days ago. That's what you have done. That's what the two parents were used for. That's exactly what they continue to use them. And guess what? My father doesn't know anything. He does not recall anything. He sees, hears, he knows nothing about what goes on, just as I explained exactly in this video here, where I just briefly have mentioned the incident which took place on December the 6th, 2025. I did fix it, I had it under the December the 7th. That is completely incorrect. Now it's fixed right there. That was a meeting with a father through which I still tried my best to help my father. I still tried to remind him of his personal acquaintance with Igor Juršič, with the Štefanič, with the Janez Ogulin, with all these police officers, where he was coming on meetings since Slovenian independence in 1991. And I say 1996, it's since 1991. But 1996 is where and when Igor Juršič became a designated father is valet parking man. Literally. Just like this. Now let's go to description of the incident, and first of all, why we are even talking about this stuff. I was gonna let it go. I mentioned it here just briefly. I didn't even consider it a big deal. It's big deal now. I am just going to create a setting which I can use to demonstrate to you about what exactly took place. You can see the morning hours of it. You can see the way I do this stuff, how this stuff is done. It's not the most pleasant thing, not to get sleep, not to sleep, to live normally. This is what I have to thank you for. And it's obviously the tool which you wanted to use to exploit, to demonstrate that I'm mentally ill, that I'm mentally insane. Sicko, you hospitalized me in 2012 after almost 4 years of lynching, awarded me with the schizophrenia paranoia certificate, and well, here we are. I will do the job anyways. The way this incident was done is by simply Nurse JANKO repeatedly meeting a group of people through what Slovenian police believe will be a proven schizophrenia. Those are the residents that were not inside of the home for elderly people. They were using many people that were not residents at home for elderly people yet. Therefore, it was all kinds of stuff that went on, including placing people that otherwise would not be, in some cases, even eligible due to financial reasons for the home for elderly people. And they were using those people to prove that I'm insane, because in the future you would be meeting them like you were meeting everybody else, and that you would use them as a proof. I was also meeting them. And when I was meeting them, obviously, if you say you are here in, I don't know, you're already here since 2000, and you came up and said, no, I'm here only since 6 months ago, or since 2 years ago, or whatever. Obviously that you will come out as schizophrenic, because it's your claim against their claim. That's how the Slovenian police wanted to prove the legitimacy of lifelong forced unemployment, ultra violence. That's what MKUltra was in my case, since my earliest childhood, since I was a baby. I got 2 chairs right here. I cannot explain to you first, let me just make sure. In this case, I cannot go and explain to you
I cannot go and explain to you about the I cannot go and explain to you about the I cannot go and explain to you about the incident just yet. I cannot do that. It is something I cannot do it. The nature of the incident, I am thinking about whether to explain to you first how the Nurse JANKO, where to go from within, how the police was using him for this. Well, I tell you what, let's do the incident first, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to explain to you exactly what took place. So, I'm talking to the father. I sit on a sofas they have at the main entrance area to the building. Let me demonstrate you where exactly how. I am not interested in even talking, negotiating with you, discussing these issues in absolutely any way. Cortina di Ampezzo, the Slovenian Cortina di Ampezzo, that's what a black truck to remind me of the graves. This was literally involved in MK Ultra, and this Cortina di Ampezzo, as I told you, that was used for torture purposes. They hated the name Cortina di Ampezzo, the Italian Alpine village. They did not like that in absolutely any way I saw myself in either Italian or German or wherever. They just fucking hated, man. Talking about the scum here from Slovenia. They fucking hated. These people lived literally to hate. Hate, hate, hate. Alright, let's hate. Let's see. Let me demonstrate you how it is when I hate. Let me demonstrate you how it is when I hate. Let me teach you. This here, this is a home for elderly people. As you know, based on my writing about what took place, they used this home for about 50 years for torture purposes, since I was a child. 45 years for sure. And they continue to use one. This is not the facility I would even want to see from anywhere other than, as I stated on this blog, absolutely animals, basically is how I see it. Had me inside of the, as you know, I'm not allowed to go inside of the building. They had me right here in this front lobby area. I sit on this sofas they have. Just a few minutes earlier I spoke to the father briefly. Just as you, basically that's a video right there. Mother comes to pick up the father, and she takes him to his room. And what do? I sit over there inside of the lobby area by myself. Father is gone. So I'm not even sure. I might have stayed on an exact seat. I have to see that. Whether it was the same seat or was another seat, I think it was the same seat. This is why I continue to sit and wait for the mother. I'm going to give entire audio because I have no other option now. And as I sit, and sit and sit and sit,
it's not good for me to sit on those sofas. Those sofas are done in such a way that this here, which police was using during MK Ultra, also for the torture purposes, this portion of it here is extended like this. Okay, so when you sit, you do not sit like this. If you have a herniated disc or you have this kind of issues, then actually that's actually a big deal. It's a really, really big deal for you. If you have a problem with your spine, or you have a spine injury, that's actually a very, very big deal. Because when this thing is extended like this, you are forced to sit like this. It's very soft, but your spine is not straight, but it's curved, and that's actually pressing on your pinched nerve. It's a trouble. Mother was using this also very efficiently yesterday. I just realized that what they're doing, because I recall from MK Ultra also about that part. And so I sit, and as I sit, like I said, I'm going to give you an audio about it. We're going to do analysis of that one also. Guess who happens? That's a table right there. Let's say that this is just a table with the people sitting on that table. People go through here. This is just for illustration purposes. People go right through here. They go back and forth. This is a lobby area. And on the other side, therefore, where I sit, is a tables with people sitting around. And look who comes. It's a Nurse JANKO. Nurse JANKO comes, as I sit. Nurse JANKO comes, and he goes to one of the people here. Hello, and this and that, and so on, and blah, 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 blah. Interesting, man, because the man is on his way home, and I have no idea how long it took him, maybe 5 minutes to do a chit-chat with the guy who was sitting right there with a table of people right there in front of me. He keeps chatting and chatting and chatting. I keep waiting for my mom to come so that we can go. Now the best part happens. Now let's just assume something different right now. You're gonna have to see me right now. What happened? The interaction about this. So the people go through the lobby this way. They go through the lobby that way. And now my mom comes. And because the way you see it on the camera, I'm gonna go this way because this is the way I saw it. Yeah. So I am right now, and just for information, I don't know, maybe I have the wrong settings or whatever. My mom was coming as I was sitting. I would be sitting like this. The group of people would be right in front of me. That would be this track, the lobby, right, where people would walk back and forth. My mother was coming as I was, let's say that I was sitting right there, here, let's say. My mother was coming from my left side. She was coming from the left side. She put the father inside of the bed. She's coming from the left side. As I sit here, right? I sit here, I see my mom. My mom is coming. And of course I am looking at the Nurse JANKO right there like this in front of me already for 5 minutes. It's when Nurse JANKO did exactly based on MK Ultra. What I wanted to do is, now let's go back to the chairs. Might be a little bit complicated. So if I sit it here, I grab the backpack and I step like this, basically in direction of the JANKO, to basically turn around and give my mother so that I could go with my mom.
But interesting stuff happens. At the same time as I grab the things, the nurse Janko stops talking to the group of people and he makes his move. So now, as I was going to do what I stated I would do, and why did I do that? I will explain to you all about this stuff. Nurse Janko moves from his direction toward me. Nurse Janko moves from his direction toward me, basically from this direction to the group of people, where this group of people, he moves toward me. And I don't back down. When he is moving toward me, I move toward him to make sure that my mother sees this. Yes, I will explain to you all about it. Does not allow me basically for me to go with the mom, turn myself and go with the mom. But he says to me, I have no fucking idea what he says to me. Hello, hi, how are you, whatever, good day to you, and this and that, whatever he wanted. He was not a bad, it was nothing bad that he would say, that he would insult me or anything that he would do. For that matter, you have to Google my blog. You write inside Nurse Janko or Janko, and you're going to see the stuff that is going to come up to you under Nurse Janko. This guy was involved in a lot of physical torture, bestiality, performer me none other more than rearrange my teeth. Literally, he was a dentist technician who started to play with, the sedatives that they give you to loosen your teeth. It's not a sedative. It's a stuff that dentists would use for your teeth to lose, so they can pull one out, remove one from your dents. That's the stuff this guy was doing. Rearrange my teeth. This is just one of the things this guy was doing. Inside of the home here, inside of the home, this home here, among others. Not too far from there, Nurse Janko pushed me so that I could fall backwards, hurt myself badly. Not too far from there. Not too far from there. Inside of this home, however, he loved to pose in front of my father as a big man, as a big man, demanded from me inside of this house, in front of the father, to acknowledge with the psychiatrist Peter Kapš, literally, he demanded from me to acknowledge that this guy is so tall, so fucking big, that it go like this, that actually barely could go through the door. And this is how the police was using this individual to demonstrate that to my parents that they have nothing to fear. That the guys like myself, we get them under control. We get them under control. We take care of them. And my father was thrilled about it. He loved the idea that there is guys bigger than myself, that they can handle me. You see, my father was all about handling me, that he will handle me, that he can handle me, he will handle me, physically will handle you. Do you know, we go to the area of bestiality. We go like some area of some psychiatrist doing stuff in some psychiatric hospital to his patients, basically past laws, past regulations, past any ethics, anything, basically like right out on open, and let's do whatever the fuck our heart pleases us. You understand me? In respect to violence. And so yesterday he did that stuff. He stopped talking and he turned instead to me. All of a sudden he was in a hurry to go. And so what I said to him is, I said,
he said to me, good day to you, good day. And I said to him, go. I said, go. I said, go. Just go. Go. That's all I did. I said, go. That's all there is, just go. Would not exchange any word with him, would not exchange any interaction with him. Nurse Janko insisted that he will prove through the lobby area cameras that he and I were in fact friends, that he and I in fact we were in great relations. There are cameras in lobby and he sure will use to prove that I am crazy. Obviously a person that only writes the stuff on the blog, but when I'm meeting the people it's everything different. Is it really? I don't think so. Past, yeah, what I stated you. Past, what went on during MKH? Now what exactly went on during MKH? Well, during MKH what went on is Nurse Janko post, you see, this is why I said this is going to kill my mom and my father. You killed both now. You killed my mom and my father. With one shot, just like this. That's the way it is. I do not act, but I do act when I get the proofs. When I get the proofs, I make the decisions. That's when I authorize myself to act. You see, during MKH, it just happened so that my mama, as police had me sit on a chair. I told you that the chairs I was talking to you about were used in post-torture sessions to injure my spine. To injure my spine. They would have me sit. It's interesting because the spine always recuperated. It always recuperated. That's interesting. The first time that happened is in Poland, however, was a complete total. I don't even understand. When I came here, I was in extremely bad situation, but I was doing a lot of pull-ups and exercise for the spine appears somewhat rehabilitated. Right now, as I talk to you, pain all the way down. Very bad stuff. The chairs, those sofas they have, they're the same sofas and they're literally designed to spine. Literally. Very soft, they will fool you on a comfortability and literally designed to as during MKH, I recall my mother repeatedly would appear like this. She would come, let me demonstrate you. Therefore, she would come, as I stated, I would be sitting and she would come from my left side like this. Looking at me like this with Nurse Janko from here, from there. Also, you see, I told you how he is afraid. I told you how he is afraid. You see, I told you how he fears. And she was like, this is my son, you know, like this. See, it is just as simple. They repeated what I stated on several occasions till actually they would see that I memorized what this is about, and then these interactions, they would just become a frequent thing. Of course, Nurse Janko is a person that when he goes home, that he just loves to speak to people. This is just something that he does. That's what he's going to say to you. And yeah, well, I think that life was not so easy on him despite everything. He got a lot of overtime, he got to do a lot of stuff, a lot of projects. complete, but psychologically I think it wasn't so difficult. It wasn't so easy on him. I think that proving somebody that he's mentally ill when you have a person like myself in front of you is not a very easy task to complete. It's actually quite demanding. It's not so easy. It's quite a job. It's quite difficult, and frankly, you're not gonna fucking make it. Anyways, you didn't. And with every case that I demonstrated on the blog is the case that talks against you. So that's why I said that this is not meant to get me killed, but this is meant through the prison system, through the court system, through judges, etc., 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 to extort, to mediate, basically. It could be like this, it could be like that, with a psychiatric certificate like this. That's why I said that. It's just not a very easy thing. It's just very not the way they imagine it's going to be. It's not so easy to do this with me. Not even negotiate. And I did explain you deliberately at the beginning of the video what my intentions are with you. I'm not hiding my intentions with you. In fact, I stressed these intentions in a video maybe 2 weeks earlier, week earlier. Yeah, times changed, and guess what? I am not interested with certain people in negotiations of any kind. You did go to the distance, and for love's sake, I will also go to the distance. I don't like you, and I don't like your families. Guess what? I changed my mind. You see, with every family that goes past this, things are just getting more and more and more criminal, and then it's the whole society that becomes just overloaded with the people like this. With every time they get away with it, they just wish for more and more and more. It's like growing society of organized crime killers, and frankly, you couldn't do anything about it, and frankly, I'm not interested in doing anything with you anyhow. Nurse JANKO did not physically assault me in front of the people, in front of the criminals whom Home for Elderly People have hired to prove that I'm mentally ill. Elderly criminals who sit at the table, and I understand even claimed that I assaulted him. See, yesterday when I came on a visit to the father, it was my mom who came out and said, "You assaulted, you attacked Nurse JANKO." She absolutely knew nothing about it. I said, "I attacked Nurse JANKO, I assaulted Nurse JANKO." I said, "Who said that, mommy?" It is people who talk about this stuff inside of the lobby area. Oh, I said, all right, okay. Yeah, you're gonna see that on a video anyway. Actually, I'm gonna also supply the audio about yesterday, what went on. I said, all right, okay. I tell you what, wait for me, actually go with the father, and I'm gonna just briefly go inside of the lobby area. I had to see what exactly went on inside of the lobby area in respect to my assaulting physically, actually I didn't say physically, my assaulting, attacking Nurse JANKO. I had to go and see that stuff for myself to see who is talking about this, what is going on with this stuff here. Anyways, so as I go inside, I asked receptionist, I said, "Hey, how are you? You're saying that I heard," it's not that you're saying, but I heard that somebody is talking about me attacking, assaulting Nurse JANKO. And she said, "That's right. I was here yesterday. I said, "Oh," I said, "really?" "Yeah. And it's a group of people who saw you that you assaulted Nurse JANKO." "Oh, okay. Okay." I said, "But did you see that I assaulted him? Did you in any way?" Well, people talk. People say. I have an audio recording about everything, as I stated here. I go out, I go for a walk with mom, with the father, we do some exercise. Father did exercise yesterday, excellent, you see. He cooperated with the exercise. He became enthusiastic about doing exercise. He was giving a great resistance though, as I was moving his leg like this. He was showing me that he's angry, that he's not pleased. Yeah, we're dealing with this stuff all along, folks. It's a Ruby kind of love. And then we had it back inside, and I decided I'm going to spend a little bit more time with the receptionist. As I came to the receptionist, I said, yeah. I asked her, I said, I am going to ask you for a favor, please. I said, you do have a video cameras here, and so what I will do is, and it was again Nurse Janko there. That's interesting. He came to her as I came upstairs. Nurse Janko was again at, now he entered the receptionist area. I don't know, he's also expert on setting the temperatures and stuff. This is what he was doing there in MKH also. It's very busy, right in the receptionist area. I have no idea what they have over there, or he's picking up there or whatever he's doing. And so he's there, and I said, listen, I am going to need those videotapes from you from yesterday, the video recording about this stuff. And she said to me, wow, what for? Why are you going to do that? Well, I said, because you said that I assaulted Nurse Janko. So I am going to need those tapes. She said, there's a group of people also who saw me, the witnesses, that I assaulted Nurse Janko. I said, I'm going to need those tapes. She replied, I don't have nothing. This tapes. We don't have these tapes. These tapes are administration. You're going to have to go to the administration. She changed the story from my assaulting him into, she said, well, I said, I'm going to use those tapes to actually prove that I did not assault him. That's what I'm going to need those tapes for. She said, well, it's not the physical part. It's about whatever you stated to him, whatever you said. And you were able to see that my recording here did not come very clear. You know, my recording did not come very clear here, the way you see it here. It's questionable how this recording is going to come, but, you know, all in all, there is one very, very powerful weapon that is on my side when it comes to this case, and this is what the police did not consider, and that's basically already what I explained. I did not even exchange any words with the Nurse Janko. I said, go. I said, just go. Go. That's what it was. Go. You wanted to go home, fucking go. That's all. You want to go home? Go. And what he would instead do, he would repeat, good day to you, good day, how are you, good day to you. Already, when somebody tells you like this, go, and it's not in a friendly way, he's telling you, go, go. It's not up to you to go to the guy and continue, hey, how are you, good day, how is it, how are you today, how is everything with you, how is everything with you. He kept fucking doing this like 5 times. I told the guy like maybe 5 times, go, go. He wouldn't do it. And I wouldn't do it either. I need those tapes to get the evidence about exactly what took place. It is very, very important for me to prove that, number one, I physically did not touch an individual. That's what he wanted. He wanted a physical contact. Nurse Janko insisted during MKH, maintained at the table of those elderly criminals that based on the prior violence, I indicated that I would, I did not even indicate You don't have to indicate anything. They put the words in your mouth like you put the tape inside of the VCR. He insisted during MKH those. He insulted further. He insulted more. He went on to suggest, well, I'm not going to attack you. I'm not going to assault you. And then on another occasion, when he did in front of them, he was, do you think that I could not? Do you think that I could not beat you up? Do you think that I could not beat you up? Look at me and look at yourself. Look at me and look at yourself. Do you think I could not beat you up? This is the stuff that went on. Do you think I could not beat you up? Asking people who sat at the table, oh yes, they started to take his side during MKH, and they started to say, yes, you would, just this guy, who he think he is, and this and that. This is how Novo, Mesto, in a parenthesis, police incited in this particular crime. Now, was there physical confrontation in this case? So to say, I don't frankly recall one. I don't recall being shoveled, pushed around by Nurse JANKO. Although he did indicate that he is so much superior again about the stuff I have previously spoke to you about, that he could do with me anything as pleased, and did so in front of the people. So it was a logical, rational, and the only right thing for me to do. The one who was really, really happy about this incident was Stojan. Pevec is his name. That's an animal from Novo Mesto police station who met me with another garbager in 2024 when I came to the police station to file the complaint against entire police station, Director Juršič, because of ongoing incidents like this one, because of being stalked and attacked, harassed by those whom the animals, Slovenian animals, hired for the job. Yes, involved in MKH. So, if you remember, the two tried to intimidate me during my first meeting in 2024 in person when I came. Stojan Pevec is his name. Other police officer is, I think, is Rezelj, not Rezelj, but Rezelj. This is fucked up because Rezelj and Rezelj is almost the same thing, with exception of Z and C that are different, and it's what also based on MKH, a provocateur, criminal animal from Novo Mesto police station known as Andrej Štefanič, the funny man as I refer to him as, making such a big deal out of it in his report. When I submit the complaint against the two police officers went on into the stare down with me at the police station literally, and even moved themselves in a position to grab me in order to test my anxiety, basically. All to none available to prove that I'm in fact aggressive and etc, etc, etc. Of course I am aggressive. Of course I am aggressive. I am not interested in your mediations. I am interested in processing you through the court and getting destroyed, you and your families, with your children included, because I deem that you are unprecedented scum. I deem that you are simply animals. I deem that with a people like you, to talk to scum like you would be a waste not only of life but oxygen. I feel that I would not fulfill the purpose in this life in absolutely any way if I was willing to communicate with you in absolutely any other way that I communicate. And that basically means, when it comes to home for elderly people, where I am not allowed even to enter the facility. I'm not allowed to enter the facility, as you know, and it's because of the nurses. Nurses claimed that I video recorded them and I audio recorded them. Yes, I did. I did so foremost for my safety, for my sake. If you remember, this home was involved in torture for over 45 years. 45 years is a lot of time. That's 4.5 decades. Going inside of the facility like this, most of the normal people would not even go. They would just let their father to fucking rotten away. And that's exactly what many Americans suggested me. They said, let him fucking rotten away, and that's that, basically. Don't go and expose yourself to that stuff. If we don't have nothing to talk about, if you processed me even to your administration, and I'm treated like an animal, cannot even come to the father for a visit, like a normal human being. I believe that video recording of parents at home for elderly people is the thing to do, because the memories on your parents, I think, are very, very, very important anyways. I did the video recording and audio recording for your and my safety sake, to protect you and myself. And by the way, you tried to lie already. You already misinterpreted my statements, which did, however, supported me with audio recordings, which saved my life. At home for elderly people, you did that stuff. Why the fuck would I want to go and talk to you about the Christmas and about the New Year? I'm talking about Janko. I'm not talking that every technician, I'm not talking that every person, that I feel the same for every person and every technician, every individual who was involved from home for elderly people into this. I do not, because not everybody was an animal like Nurse JANKO, who was involved in this shit since my teenage years. Not everybody was an animal like this. Not everybody was a Nurse JANKO. I am not generalizing. I'm applying these principles to the criminals who did really, really a lot of bad stuff. But this guy was involved in a lot of bad stuff, and well, he just made me a favor, another favor he did me, when he applied these principles of organized crime 2 days ago on December the 6th, 2025. Nurse JANKO was laughing at me in front of the group of people, suggested, well, you know, I'm a human being. That's how he presented himself. I'm a human being. He was not the only one. A psychiatrist, Kapš, also was, I'm a human being. I'm just a human being. For me, they indoctrinated to see myself in animals. I love animals. I just admire animals. And I see myself in animals. It's okay, that part. They demanded from me to see myself in a kamikaze pilots. They demanded from me to see myself in a kamikaze pilots that go and do not steer away until they blow themselves up. And I saw myself during MK Ultra in kamikaze pilots. Even in personal life, in a certain way, by carrying out my task, I see myself in a legacy completely indifferent. For the cost of my life, I'm doing this stuff from kamikaze pilots. But I'm doing so because you can see through how many attacks Slovenian police have pushed me through. You can see just how many attacks I was subjected, and you can see the degree of violence they continue to enforce through a lifetime unemployment, forced unemployment. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, for me, this will do the video. I don't have anything else I would add to this video. Nurse JANKO explained to me that as a human being, he's utilizing the brain, not muscles. How funny. How, from whom those words came. And he was embraced by these elderly criminals, whom during MK Ultra, by the way, I even embraced. They seemed to be like natives from Slovenia, ordinary people that even had compassion with me, and I was so fucking wrong. The world is not as it seems, especially when you are subjected to MK Ultra. You know that in real world, you know that people are snakes, but when you're subject to MK Ultra, the snakes have actually the ability to portray themselves as a good people, not as a bad people. They have ability to portray themselves as a good people. Investigator from Novo Mesto police station toxified this crime even further with all the police criminals involved that I met in 2024 at Novo Mesto police station, appearing inside of the house, and insisted me that something wrong with my logic, that it's not okay. In fact, if this is mom, let me just make sure, okay, if this is mom, it's actually not okay to step in front of my mom on this side and go with the mom and completely disregard Nurse JANKO, that would actually equal to the crime. Okay, so now we're gonna see who the criminal is. Now we're gonna pull the things out, because yesterday what's interesting is when I came to request for those tapes at receptionist, and I asked her, I said, I'm gonna need those tapes, and anyways, I'm gonna need those tapes. There was another thug who was involved in MK Ultra, participated in torture, that was sitting right next to her right there, a young boy, insisted that you're not supposed to video record, you're not supposed to audio record. If you will put, once I stated it was audio recorded, he said, if you audio recorded, sir, that's illegal, you're not supposed to do that, it's this, it's that, it's etc, etc, etc. You're not supposed to, you're not going to be allowed to come to the father anymore, period. You're not going to be allowed to come inside of the facility anymore, period. This is also what my mother continues to stress, that I will not be allowed to come inside of the facility, period. It's also interesting that she stated to me, she said to me, just let it go. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Just let it go and it will go away. Just let it go. It will go away. During MK Ultra, however, she insisted to me, she said something different. She said, well, the only thing we're going to do is the time is going to go past, and when the tape is going to go into oblivion, into forgetfulness, we will use those witnesses who testify for Nurse JANKO against you to support the police case. And a Nurse JANKO who appeared in my face, he said, that's correct. We will advise you to exactly do this. So that you can go to the police, and this is how I get you arrested. Like this, he tipped. A very smart man, Nurse JANKO is a very smart man. He figured out that, he said to me, the way I do this stuff, this is how he posed, the way I do this stuff is in such a way so that people screw themselves up. I don't screw the people. You see, people screw themselves up. So Nurse JANKO, I guess, is going to have to explain a little bit more about his deja vus with MK Ultra. This is just a little update. I really want to thank him actually for bringing this subject up. It's nice when you sign up for the stuff and you stick to it, but I sincerely doubt that that's going to do any favor to the garbage from Novo Mesto police station. We're finished with this stuff here. When it comes to the incident, I explained absolutely everything, whatever I had to explain about this stuff. You know what pissed me extremely in respect to Illuminatis? Germans, like Frau Angela Merkel, Macron, British royals, Americans, supported with their home for elderly people they had inside here. They would have entire group of people coming here and philosophy about this stuff. They supported the claim that
inside the homes for elderly people, there should be no cameras, regardless, smartphones, audio recordings and stuff like that, regardless of my outcome of my case. They said, you are going to finish your case, everything is going to be okay for you, but when it comes to home for elderly people, Ursula von der Leyen alone will explain to you about this issue, because she's rotten to the bone, right? Ursula. She claimed, no, the legislation is not gonna change. That means that they have the similar, yeah, the Slovenian side, I should say, Tanja Fajon, Milan Kučan, Gregor Golobič, Danilo Turk, all this garbage, so to say, the leftists, the communists, Slovenian communists, leftists, they, Robert Golob as a chieftain, Borut Pahor, they insisted on international legislatures turned literally into a hardcore crime to present themselves as somebody that, because of whom, through a genocide against me, even the international community would benefit from within. Yes, because if this stuff is happening to you somewhere else, guess what? It's not the first time, it's not the first case, and maybe even the legislation will change you for your sake and your benefit, whatever the hell you are. That's how they have promoted themselves a little bit here, a little bit there, and with assistance of Americans, Illuminatis, all kinds of garbage involved in this. They went on to promote genocide against me through the American civil rights movements and minorities in Europe and etc., etc. This is how they, this is la funzionale, this is how they function. So even for this crime, you know, at the end of the, yes, I said to you at the beginning of it, Illuminati garbage, you know, yes, they got the clearance. Scum, we did talk about the legislature change in Germany, in Italy, in France, in Britain, in America, and so on, in respect to the smartphones, voice recording, audio, I should say, and video recording. We did spoke about that shit. We spoke about that stuff. So that means that you signed the protectoratum, protection for the Slovenian side to continue with yet another incident. You are involved in every fucking incident. From the beginning, I didn't want to see you. I didn't want to talk about you. But it became clear, of course, at the time that with you, I am losing one way or the other. And the worst thing when it comes to stuff like this is not to expose the one who actually was in bed. You are in bed with the communist motherfuckers. With the Yugo communists, with the Yugoslav communists, with the ethnic cleansers from Slovenia for the sake of Greater Serbia, Greater Serbian Chetnik state, Yugoslavia, Razia, Russia, USSR number 2. So, with that being said, I think I did discuss absolutely every issue. Maybe the only other proof that I have to demonstrate you, and yeah, you can check my audio recordings from Novo Mesto police station, the interactions with them. Many of which I did not even publish. Whenever I came to the front window and I talk and I asked about, they were always asking about what is MK Ultra. We don't know what MK Ultra is. Can you tell us what MK Ultra is? He's talking about MK Ultra. MK Ultra, what is MK Ultra? Nobody knows what MK Ultra is. We already probably, I have gotten from 15 different police officers. This isn't the first time I started with this. I was at the police station filing charges against MK Ultra procedure in 2018. At least 15 police officers claiming me that they don't know nothing about what MK Ultra is. At least 15 different police officers, in a parenthesis police officers, at this Novo Mesto police station. They don't know anything about what MK Ultra is. In fact, nobody involved in MK Ultra knows what MK Ultra is. What the fuck is MK Ultra? MK Ultra, that's a MK Ultra right there, I guess. That's how they see it. But it's interesting, really interesting when you notice that they are actually apologizing for it. They are not apologizing straight, like you would come out and you would say, I apologize, make a statement. We apologize to the people for engaging in MKUltra experiments. MKUltra, they don't like to say genocide, they just say it's experiments. All through the graveyards behind the psychiatric hospitals are full of the people that MKUltra is being practiced on. Numerous people homeless, numerous people ended homeless, dead. Yet, the way they apologize is by basically issuing a fake video that some politician apologized about MKUltra. But at the same time, when you go and you file the complaint against it, they said, hey, what is MKUltra? What is MKUltra? I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. What is MKUltra? I don't know you. I'm glad this video is still on here. I'm truly glad. Because nobody ever apologized for anything. I would not even accept the apology, because I told you that accepting... You know what happened when you accept the apology for something as a victim? You're rotten. And this is not even an apology. This is just a lie that Bill Clinton is supported. White House supported. U.S. government, U.S. Congress people, FBI, Central Intelligence Agency is the one who posted the video like this. Nobody ever apologized for any kind of MKUltra. They don't give a three fuck about it. They say that MKUltra does not exist. That's what they claim. And if you're gonna go here, if you're gonna see this here, they're gonna say that this is just some fucking project that existed and who knows when the fuck. This is all something that just no longer exists. It never was. Actually, it was. And they don't even describe the whole thing for what it is. They don't describe the whole thing. They partially describe these things. I do not even read this stuff because I don't want to read this shit. I want to give my personal experience about MKUltra. I'm not interested in reading shit till I give the complete account about what took place, because it's more important than your fucking drugs, than your procedures. To do this stuff with the people is to explain how this stuff is done to the people. For people have ability to protect themselves, and for the people have the ability to fight back against this stuff. This is not an Epstein. This is not an Epstein. Epstein is a joke. Mother of all jokes when compared to this thing here. This is a beast. This is the real deal. This is the real thing. And I'm not about to let it go. Sorry. Watch.
Another generation of American leaders and another generation of American citizens. The United States of America offers a sincere apology to those of our citizens who were subjected to these experiments, to their families, and to their communities.
To these experiments? Which experiments?
When the government does wrong, we have a moral responsibility to admit it. The duty we owe to one another to tell the truth and to protect our fellow citizens from excesses like these is one we can never walk away from. Our government's failed in that duty, and it offers...
Why the fuck do you put this music in the background? Wow, wow, wow. What do you do this for? Huh? What the fuck do you lie? What the fuck do you lie? What do you lie, United States of America? Why do you continue to lie? Why do you continue to play on abuse note? Why do you continue to do this? Why you do this?
There's an apology to the survivors and their families, and to all the American people who...
Look. See this here? Look. Facebook intimidation, living with a schizophrenia. I got this group of people popping up at my page, Facebook page today. And I bet, I know so, because the way my mother acted with me yesterday before I went to sleep. Even wishing me a good night sleep, sarcastically though. After checking in at the neighbor, Yerman. You know who the neighbor Yerman was. giving me this here for the early wake up, early morning at 1:30. I woke up today after a few hours of sleep I had. I get this kind of stuff here. You're not sorry. There's one thing, if you're an MK Ultra victim, you should understand. These are beasts. They can even say, I am sorry to you. The thing is, they are lying. They are lying. They have no regret. And if they only could, they would have fucking killed you. You see? That's me this morning.
I got right now at the Facebook.
Yeah, I got
right
on the
now,
Facebook and
a group just like here, the way you see it here. They would have.
Neil deGrasse Tyson wanted to be also involved in this. He insisted that he wants to be involved in it.
Here, never expressed any interest in one.
Everyone you see was involved in it, including the Hans Zimmer, including the group of people here that you see.
Never
Soccer players.
expressed any interest
There you go. You see right there?
in one. And the name of the group
Is
was, there you go, Living with a Schizophrenia Group.
yeah, I video record, I evidence the stuff like this. Before I did not, because it was difficult to put up with reality of any kind, because MK Ultra is nothing other than trauma during the torture and trauma in real life as a follow-up of the torture. But since the times change, you can see that it take a little bit extra time just to fuck you and your families. Thanks for watching this video. Should I even play you this?
Who must be able to rely upon the United States to keep its word, to tell the truth, and to do the right thing.
To do the right thing, yeah? At the end of this video, I will tell you exactly what Bill Clinton stated to me inside of this house and in United States of America. In front of Joe Biden, I didn't mention Joe Biden, that was the king of MK Ultra.
Make no mistake, as the committee report says, there are circumstances where compensation is appropriate as a matter of ethics and principle.
Listen to this shit. There are circumstances in which a compensation is appropriate. Do you understand what the fuck do you hear what the fuck I hear? Do you even understand what the fuck this guy is saying? There is circumstances when the compensation is appropriate, motherfucker. Think about my case. How much money you have stolen through the forced unemployment lifetime. And even through my blog, through the videos that I created for which I received 0 cents, 0 dimes. Since 2010, since 2008 when I started it all. You know, 2008 might be difficult for you to comprehend, but guess what? It's a bloody 18 years ago when I started and make 0 cents.
I am committed to seeing to it that the United States of America lives up to its responsibility.
Oh yeah.
Our greatness is measured not only in how we so frequently do right, but also how we act when we know we've done the wrong thing. How we can find.
You know how you act? You act when you're kicked in the butt. You act when you're bitten up 24/7, scum. When you're being exposed. When I call your names like this. When I demonstrate you inside of the videos. When I remind the people of who the fuck you are, scumbag. You slave owner, you murderer, you criminal. This is when you act. That's when others act because they no longer can see you, a fucking disgrace for the human race.
Our mistakes make.
When your lies, and that's what United States of America is, get at stake, when you become exposed and no longer you can hide behind the lies, when it gets really, really uncomfortable, that's when you scum act, if you ever act.
Our apologies and take action. That's why this morning I signed an executive order instructing every arm and agency of our government that conducts, supports, or regulates research involving human beings to review immediately their procedures in light of the recommendations of this report and the best knowledge and standards available today, and to report back to me by Christmas.
He was, and there you have a comedy here. Look, that's a comedy. Right next one, they play you. It's a comedy. Yeah, everything is beautiful. He was coming here. He was coming here to see, to check on my vital signs, I guess, how much dead I am, how much progress they made with absolutely everything in respect to poisoning, spine breaking, and all kinds of diseases they were playing with. That's all there ever was. There was no concerns, there was nothing. There still is no concerns, and I'm not interested in the concerns. If this case ever will get resolved, for my sake, I don't like to say justice sake, because you can see how blind the justice is. It's gonna get resolved because of my persistence, because of my unwillingness to steer away from what they even demanded from me, to see myself as a kamikaze pilot. Like, you know, psychiatrist Peter Kapš demanded from me to not see myself as a kamikaze pilot. The thing is that you do see yourself, whatever they demand you not to see yourself, you see yourself in. Whatever is out there. This is just the way it is. This is a procedure, this is the most barbaric procedure that possibly can be done to people. Bill Clinton, on a number of opportunities with his American journalists, with his American human rights activists, posed right next to me that he, however, did not name MK Ultra procedure in his apology because, you know, apology is great when you as a relative collect this. Simply because of me, that he did not name MK Ultra, simply because of me, because I am the one who will go out there and prove the world the MK Ultra. Well, these people, let me tell you, they are nothing other than goodness. It's all about fucking goodness. But if they fuck you like this, just a little bit like that, and you're fucking dead. Other than that, it's a pure goodness. And with a little craziness, I should say luck, you're gonna see them as a good people. Let's take a date and time for this video also. I also do this kind of stuff. They tried, they really tried, and well, here are the results. Results are in. This is just this case here, the case I am talking about here, about the Nurse JANKO who was involved in this stuff. This case was the case on which Nurse JANKO demanded from me to see him as a key witness in my case, and he alone, together with the psychiatrist Peter Kapš. This is a Nurse JANKO we are talking about. We are talking about a total animal. Total animal. We're talking about absolute animal. Absolute animal. For Sergei Mikhailovich Brin, suggested that as you would make the post, yes, you would make the post like this, you would do the search description and stuff. Writing something like this would not even work, and this was one of the issues which also was involved in MK Ultra. So I'd like to see, because it was Sergei Mikhailovich Brin who personally took initiative to disable the ability for the people to use the search description box. for him to repair that stuff. At Google, they took initiative that people would not even have the ability to find certain topics under the description box they would use. They would enter one inside of the, like, let's say here, you have ability to enter this into the search box, this kind of stuff. My mother heavily provoked, my mother heavily intimidated with this stuff. But actually, you know something, here you can get it. Here you have better ability than I even have, because it's a third party, I guess, the stuff that this is just so much of this stuff here that this is fucking incredible how much time, videos, crime, revelation about this animal I dedicated on this blog. So that he actually has the audacity to even come out and pull something like this. He insisted on my being thrown into psychiatric hospital, that there will be no violence involving this stuff. There will be the easiest thing to get it done with it. There will be the easiest thing. It will be the easiest thing to get rid of me. Will not even involve any kind of violence. And he referred to himself as a human being. And of course they refer to me as an animal. This is just the way it is. You can see the language of your American President Donald Trump. He likes to use the language animal. He used the language animal during MK Ultra all the fucking time. I heard him using a language such as animal all the fucking time. Very often it was animal. Animal, animals, animal. This is just the way it was. Animal, animals, animal. He was addicted to a psychiatric hospitalization, Nurse JANKO. After the play with what I stated to you, which this, it took him about at least 12 years he was playing. Since like 2003, he was playing with this issue. Yeah, since 2003. So that's like 14, almost 1 decade and a half, almost 15 years he was playing exactly with this issue. He would build this crime for like almost 15 years with the police. He brainwashed, he earlier than 2003, even earlier, in order to get his results together and intimidated. It will be deciding about everything about you. There will be one more time, he would say. There will be one more time. I will give you the chance. It will be one more time that I would try to help you. Yeah, that's how he interpreted what he did. There will be one more time I will try to help you. Yeah, that will be your last time. In fact, that will cost you a life. You're dead, and etc., etc. That's a Nurse JANKO. So this animal here, this was the animal who was thrilled with the terror. He was thrilled by causing trauma, stress during MK Ultra, and as police demonstrated through the ambulance stalking, through all kinds of people they involved in, pedestrians and people that would interact to remind of the psychiatric hospitalizations, scenarios during MK Ultra. This is the animal who was thrilled about that stuff. He was completely consumed. They were pretty sure that I'm going to act in an irrational, crazy way, some way, somehow. Nobody touched Nurse JANKO. Nobody put hands on Nurse JANKO. And we got to understand each other. We got nothing to talk about. The only time you and I have something to talk about is at the police station. Nurse JANKO went on to further threaten with a physical attack inside of the stores. The police, based on arrangement, talking about the police, the so-called police, investigators from Novo Mesto police station. They would deliver me to the stores, to the markets, and they would have me like bump in a Nurse JANKO, who would afterwards ask me, what about now? What about now? There is no cameras here and this and that. We're gonna meet somewhere where there is no cameras and so on. Yeah? This guy got a lot to explain. The receptionist, a ghost worker from Home for Elderly People, who provocated on an issue of Nurse JANKO, on how Nurse JANKO was how I will have to request those recordings and that kind of stuff, and that people saw it, that she saw it, I was there, she said. This receptionist was a ghost worker during MK Ultra. She'll also tell you that she's there at Home for Elderly People a year or two. All the receptionists knew about this crime, yet the receptionist to whom this crime was supposed to pertain to, they made sure that they would divide this crime to the certain people. It would not be everybody or the same person all the time, but they would use different people for different kind of crimes. Everybody at Home for Elderly People knew about this incident, about this crime coming, including even the residents.
Bill Clinton did not only suggest that he did not name MK Ultra victims specifically in his video and issue apology to them. Bill Clinton initially, and then changed his way toward me, insisted simply because I'm an animal that he did not insert in the video also apology to MK Ultra. He maintained that I was animal, and foremost when making the statement, the apology, in a parenthesis, to American public, that the only reason he did not enter apology to the MK Ultra victims, their families, is simply because of me, because I'm an animal. This was his first shit, which Bill Clinton maintained for about at least 3 years, insulting me in the face. Then, through advice of Jimmy Carter, of Joe Biden, of others involved in this, he changed this into, I did not make the apology to victims of MK Ultra because you're the one who will make the apology for me. You're the one who will reveal that. And I will say, yes, it was MK Ultra. This is the way it was. We have to be as it was. First, it was a heavy insult. Then it was even wow. And we can see how the wow is coming along, how you do it. You give a shit about the human beings. Clearly the world can see what you are all about. Just so that you know the whole thing, after several minutes of blah blah blah, and it's funny, man, because the guy was even like this, down, bent. He had a good spine, Nurse JANKO, right in front of me, just as Nurse JANKO stated, so that you can recall the whole incident, and then we do it. That's when the mother popped up, and boom, kaboom. Oh, okay, all right. After a few minutes is when he make a turn. Maybe I should even give you a little simplified option of this stuff. Maybe I give you a simplified option. Maybe I give you just a little simplified option, a really simple option. It's the side from which mother is going home. It's basically where I sit. It's where the Nurse JANKO is talking to the group of people like this. When the mother comes like this, he make a turn knowing that I will come on this side basically on other side of where I was when the mother was coming this way. So as the mother goes this way, I'm on this side. And what I want to do is I want to come right here on this side and go with the mother. Yes. In that moment when he see that I'm going, is basically when he goes and basically gets into me. Good day. Yeah, good day to you too. Not good day to you, but I told him just go. I told him just go. Go. That's all. Go. That's it. No touching, no nothing. I don't like any one of these people. I'm not hiding my intentions. And I'm not here to mediate with you. I'm not here to discuss. I'm not here to mediate. Whatever I stated, it's stated. Whatever I wrote is written. This is not blog, this is not video. This is collection of Mount Everest of crime pertaining to the genocide, which took already 54 years of life. Again, going over this stuff, you know, I hate these people so much. I must prompt again. I didn't go like this. I didn't do any of that kind of stuff. But when he got into my face, I told him, wait, just as this. The beginning was simply adjusted to go. Exactly what I stated right now. At least twice. Go. So at least 3 times as he expected me to back down, go away, or maybe even something else, as explained in the video. Most likely something else in the video. This is very, very important stuff, because in the video the anger spoke out of me too much. This kind of issue here that you see here, so this is very, very important stuff. This kind of issue was, as I explained to you at the beginning of the video, how they demanded from me to see the justices. They demanded from me to see the justice through the game. We will play the game. On one side it's going to be us, on the other side it's going to be you. That's how they see the law as. Was toxified even further. This case was toxified to degree of Milan Kučan, Robert Golob, Borut Pahor, Tanja Fajon. Robert Golob insisted me, together with the psychiatrist Kapš, on how I did the whole thing. Now I am referring to, let's say, the Facebook, I'm referring to many other issues. This morning, they keep driving you insane based on MK Ultra scenario. They keep doing stuff. Wherever you turn, they keep flashing in front of you to remind you of threats, psychiatric threats, death, and promises they made. Was toxified with what became, based on Robert Golob's claims in as early as in 1998. 1997 to be completely exact. 1997 with the Milan Kučan. My completion of the case, because this is what they insisted all the time with the British Oils, that I have to tell the whole thing, that I have to complete the case. But in reality, I had nothing to complete with, anything that I possibly could complete anything. And insisted on how I have to do all this thing. Have to go myself through the MK Ultra case. This was the most frequent thing that was involved in MK Ultra, that you have to do it. That you have to do this thing. Nothing until you do this thing.
insisted me that I now, however, did completed the MK Ultra case, that I did fulfilled all the requirements which British royals, British Charles, Andrew, and all the British royals that demanded is going to be royal ways. We're gonna promote you. You're gonna do this thing, and we're gonna promote you. Complete everything by yourself. And they started to insist me in 1997 that I, in fact, Mama, bomo šli k očetu. Pol. Okay. Insisted me that I finally did complete the whole thing. That everything required, finally did complete the whole thing. I was like, Robert Golob, I did? How? This and that. And he goes and he tells it, now you did all this stuff, just the way we talked that you had to do. Congratulations, even 1996. You did the whole thing, you did the whole thing. It makes you feel like you finished. You finished your case. 1996, definitely. And so that make you feel good as much as possible. And then, this is what Robert Golob started already in 1994, also through the Tanya Fayon. But it did not get any kind of echo. It did not get any kind of attention from the British royals or American CIA, FBI, politicians involved in this, from any foreign politicians. But in 1996, this actually gained attention from other Illuminatis because it was really, really good joke. And so he started to claim me, you fulfilled everything. Now you did absolutely everything you did. You did everything. And I was like, I really wanted to believe in Robert Golob when he stated to me this. And so I said, great. Then I saw myself as like a completely different life, which not even the so-called Slovenian independence could bring me. That's why Robert Golob started with this stuff in 1994, because they continued to play down all expectations, everything when it comes to expectations. See? And what follow up was beginning the 1994 with this stuff. First it was Robert Golob who was doing this. Then it was also others. They started to insist me, but you still have to go to the psychiatric hospital. So I did the whole thing, and I still have to go into the psychiatric hospital. Yeah, what are you going to do? This was also Gregor Golobic from Novo mesto city, politician. There's a whole pack of this Milan Kuchan animals that started to insist that I complete the whole thing, but I still have to go to the psychiatric hospital. The one who watched very attentively this was what is known a British king, Charles. He was thrilled, he was excited about this bestialities performed on me, together with other royals. They just love to drive you out of the skin. They just love to drive you out of the skin, boy. And sure enough, I told Robert Golob, really, I completed the whole thing, and you simply, this was 1998, and you simply, they wanted to know the response, what the response is going to be, 97. And I told them, if I completed the whole thing, and I still have to go to the psychiatric hospital, I wanted to demonstrate them what the suicide is going to look like. So this is, earlier I talked to you about the kamikaze plane, flying to the enemy and just, fire every bullet that you have till you basically blow yourself up. Attitude, a whole different kind of level of lunacy they demanded from me to become part of it, see myself in. And really, man, on one occasion, I really slammed the head against the table. Because they doubted me. They were, no, we don't believe you. We don't believe you. So this was a very, very serious incident. I attempted to run into the wall with my head and smash myself in the wall during MK Ultra. Do you understand the degree of the violence that you have implicated yourself in? By demonstrating individual how you're going to basically take his space. But if he comes across and he will hold you accountable for any crime based on MK Ultra brainwash. You are only out there to grab him, basically arrest him, and get him killed. Do you understand how much space did you invade in my life personally when it comes to MK Ultra? This is not a very best commercial for the British Royals, even less for the British police, for American police, for the Slovenian police, for the Western world of democracies. It's about democracy. We live in a democracies, right? It's a democracy. It's a democracy. That's what you call democracy. So, this shit went on all the way to year 2025, with my being delivered literally into the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje, where the technicians, the people whom in the future I would actually even meet once I was thrown into the psychiatric hospital in 2012, started to really enjoy this type of bestiality, but basically demanded from me to rip myself apart on the bed, tied to the bed. They would tie me to the bed and insisted, remind me of my pledge, which I have made, that I will complete the project. Once I'm going to complete the project, I will be still thrown into the psychiatric hospital, that I will kill myself. They said to me, you completed the project and you're here again with us inside of the psychiatric hospital. My job is to get you killed, scum. My job is to kill your progeny. My job is to wipe you out. But through the court proceedings, through the jail system, through incarceration, maybe even through the public executions, I'm making sure that you do not take in a wrong way when I said that you need to be destroyed, killed, wasted. But you are the gravest threat to the world, to the society. And I will not rest till I get you destroyed, or till I burn in the process myself. You understand where this pledge is coming from? You are doing stuff that is unprecedented, the stuff so bestial, supported through the lifelong forced unemployment, that it's extremely tempting when you pull the stuff out of MK Ultra scenario. You dare, you challenge, you invade this, whatever is left out of the personal space. I'm going to say out of life, conditioned with a garbage food, with a complete denial of absolutely everything, any kind of income, absolutely anything. And at age 54, you actually go and you continue, you dare, you continue to challenge, you continue to dare, harass, intimidate, push into my personal space for basically visiting elderly father whom you have thrown into the home for elderly people so that you could get a hold of me. You do understand the principles of this case? Now you do. Whether you didn't want to understand one, that's exactly what this is. So this stuff, so toxic, so insane, with what I refer to as animals, not a police officers, but absolute animals. Absolute animals. Killing any one of these people, I would have absolutely no regret. And that includes their progeny, because I am 100% certain that their progeny learned from their parents. And based on the rewards, based on progress they make through life, by killing people, by doing evil, by doing stuff, beyond criminal stuff, its entire society basically see themselves in a reward. They only want more. They are unsatisfiable. Their appetite is simply unlimited. Entire society turned into the swine, into the pig. This is why, this is how exactly through this case. And all I did was I exposed the people that were behind, people who did this stuff. That's not a crime. That's not a crime to express yourself what you want to do with the scum. Even if you don't make it. But understanding people, because I'm a human being. You see, on the other hand, I am a human being. For people to understand why do I feel this way, how far these people have gone, what exactly they have done, maybe we'll also understand you, help understand you exactly what went on in this case and why do I feel this way.
There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing weird about me. I was the one who came at the police station, and I tried to talk to these people like a human being. I tried to be rational. Even with the criminals who did so much bad stuff to me, I tried to communicate. But these people had absolutely no intention to communicate. They had no intention to treat me as a human being. They instead proceeded, based on MK Ultra, to fire bullets in me, to do everything they possibly can to get me killed. Invested absolutely every effort that is out there, absolutely everything possible to get me destroyed. Stojan, Pevec, and Rezelj, the two gangsters, the two criminals who assaulted me literally at Novo Mesto police station while wearing literally a police uniforms based on MK Ultra scenario, brainwash, they did that stuff. Other people, together with all others, including the guy here from Krka and including the other, they needed to demonstrate, they needed to prove that something is wrong with me. That, MK Ultra case was, but I'm a troublemaker and I'm a trouble seeker, and etc., etc. Either way, they wanted to prove, they definitely wanted to negotiate, they definitely wanted to prove that in this process, they have an upper hand, and one way or the other, I would not be capable to drive this all the way to the end and demonstrate animals truly for what they are. They see the law as, like a flea market bananas that you go and you just negotiate, you do with the law whatever you want to do with the people, and all the person has basically through this type of tyranny is basically back down, bend down, you corner him down, and you spit in his eye and you give him whatever the fuck you want to give him for those last 3 weeks of life that he had left. That's how they demonstrated this stuff. That's how they demanded from me to see this whole thing as. So this was the report on, in a parenthesis, Nurse JANKO, and it's how the whole thing went down with my parents that were used in a process of cover-up. My mom was so concerned about the Nurse JANKO and the way she acts. It's all audio recorded. It will make you feel like she doesn't have a fucking clue about what took place. It's all about that they say, they this, they. What about you? You watched it. You were coming at home for elderly people. This incident was created by the psychiatrist Peter Kapš in 1999. Therefore, together with the psychiatrist Peter Kapš, Nurse JANKO followed up on me for no less than 27 years. It was 1999, maybe even 1998, where Nurse JANKO and psychiatrist Peter Kapš come to realize that there is another potential to have a conflict with me, whatever the hell that was. And it was exactly this issue at the lobby area at Home for Elderly People. So you're talking about 1999, maybe even 1998. You can imagine, that is, my God, almost 28 years ago. For 28 years, they follow up against me through this very core incident, through exactly this incident, crime pertaining to the lobby area, through the Nurse JANKO. For 28 years, they continued to brainwash. It was not 10 years. It was 28 years that this shit went on. 1998, 1999 is when Nurse JANKO, psychiatrist Peter Kapš just engineered this stuff. They were just looking for anything, collecting people, hiring people for the hit job, for anything that would prove that something is wrong with me, that kind of stuff. The guy who went on to insist me that no, I did complete the MK Ultra, but that I still have to go inside of the psychiatric hospital. Just pay attention to his Google profile, to his long hair, freakish, crazy. Look at this crazy look. Look at this mad fucking look. This was what the Russians would typically express. Their facial expressions were typically like this. Like
You know, like somebody would be fixated in time or something like that. A Slovenian communist associated to the Milan Kučan. Yeah, that's how they interpreted him, as Milan Kučan. And what unfortunately the Chinese side embraced, because they heard the word the communist, and it was just fantastic. And then with Janez Janša, they did not oppose to this stuff, because the China is a major superpower, economic superpower, when it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to technology and stuff. And so if you want in your country, if you want to do the trade, you know, this man here that you see, he's a Slovenian doctor. This has a doctoral degree from electrical engineering, a scientist, became known in Slovenia as a top manager by his associates like Urška Klokočar, by this nut here that you see. This nut here referred to him. She's his party member, you know. This nut referred to him as a top manager, as a top boy. Top manager. The crime, the Slovenian genocide extermination procedure was so well diversified. They spent and created such a great relationship through the crime, through extermination procedure, through the genocide across the Asia, across the Africa, across the South America, in United States of America, therefore Northern and Central America, and Australia and Canada, and all over the place. It was so fucking promising that they felt like, talking about the nation, the people, Slovenian people, they felt extremely, extremely comfortable. They felt extremely, extremely confident without, as they felt like a royals. This is how the fuck we do it in Slovenia, and look at us. We can still get away with it, and we even build a friendship around the world. With so much little to lose, with so much little to worry about, they continued their way all the way to today. And today, it's almost 2026. Tomorrow actually is going to be my birthday. And so this is like a nice video for my birthday. Chinese did embrace these people. Chinese, just like Slovenian police, just like the Slovenian politicians who enforced the genocide, they signaled both ways. They signaled as, you know, Stojan, Pevec, Rezelj, all these police officers who met me at the Novo Mesto police station. It wasn't about only that they did not know what MK Ultra is. They also insisted they never met me. They knew nothing about who I am. And did so through death threat scenarios which ongoingly involved a psychiatric hospitalization, suggesting me that we could be nice if you would not step on us. He's going to help you. This will be a witness. The other one will be a witness. Everybody was a fucking witness. Everybody was a potential witness. Everybody was a nice boy. Everybody was on my side. But the incidents, the attacks continue to go on and on and on and on and on and on. And regardless of how much humane I wanted to be with these animals, there was no way to be. I could be as nice and the nicest person in the world when I came. Repeatedly, I tried to find a soft spot in them. A humane way to communicate. There was absolutely no way to communicate. They were using the niceness, the kindness, to take the genocide on the next level and try to basically completely deny the whole thing. And did absolutely everything possible to get me killed to the psychiatric hospital. This is why That's why I see them the way I see them. That's not a communism, that's a communism in the name of the ethnic cleansing. Killing people simply out of your political agenda. And that's why I also stated that Slovenes are homeless dogs who crave for their masters from Belgrade, basically. That's why I gave the definition to the Slovenes as a nation as whole. You don't do this stuff. Even if you have an individual who builds an extensive criminal network and you basically quietly agree with the garbage titled as communists. You give them a title as a communist and then you just unleash them to do whatever the fuck they want through this extensive criminal corruption network negotiations they have done with also, in a parenthesis, Western allies and etc. etc. And it's all good. You do it collectively as long as you think that as long as you profit, and then in that case it's all good, you have nothing to worry about. At one point and another, we can already prove, we can already get it done somehow, some way. But you know, that just didn't happen in my case. The points are adding up to your resume, not to mine, to your Slovenian resume. It goes to tell about who you are. It goes to tell about where exactly you are coming from, where exactly you came from, and what exactly you came from here to Slovenia. You are the one who labeled me with this curse when I was born, when I was a baby. And it's my job to reveal the world about who you are. You found the right spot in my case. Yes, of course. I don't glue myself on who is the communist and who is not communist. I want people, the world, to understand you as a nation, as the whole nation, as a people. Who you are, where you are coming from, and what do you want. I'll make your wishes come true.
I totally failed to mention another issue. This issue here, this issue was referred to me by the Andrej Štefanič, the funny man, as they explained to me what will fuck me in this incident here. Based on interrogation, they interrogate, they want to know exactly how you would react, how you would do, and then they just multiply and just do it their way. What it would fuck me based on claims from Novo Mesto police. I know what will fuck them, but they claim that it would fuck me is my going to across the half. You see, this is a half here, and that's something I failed to explain. And that's basically on this side, you know, right? That's what they claimed me. So that mother would go, I would continue to go together with the mother this way, that this is what it would fuck me. This is not even necessary the way it was, but okay. I'm not here to take any kind of excuses. For me, it's important this to be out on a bright daylight. Going, instead of staying on my side, going on the other side of where the mother was passing through would be what it would fuck me. This is the stuff that would fuck me. This is what was based on garbage from Novo Mesto police station, so troubling in this case. Yeah, I agree, but then on the other hand, I didn't touch individual. I indicated him. I look at him, I just didn't want anything. I was just disapproving with his niceness, and then I stated simply, go. Go. Just like this. Go. Which is a normal thing. Twice you say nicely, the third time you say go. I'm not fucking holding you back, basically. Just fucking go, but do not expect from me to be nice to you. I ain't got nothing, no business to be nice to you. It's actually normal. It's actually the thing to do. It is just as simple.